Hi guys, hello and welcome along once again to a Monday evening's racing with me, your boy Vexed, it's Vexman, and the Aero League Racing's Tier 1 drivers in the ALR GT7 Championship. This is season 15, round 2. Obviously last week we were at Spa, and the tables at the moment are looking like Arix Yavi at the top of the table in the Lamborghini Huracan with 39 points. Then we have Viking Dog in second place with 36 points. Slim is in third with 26 points. Gilles is in fourth with 25 points. We have Big Beaver Ben in fifth with 18 points. Then we have Zico in sixth with 16 points. Capel following very closely with 16. In fact, we've got 3 drivers on 16 points. We've got Zico, Capel and Perry all on 16 points. We've got Ahmed on 12 points. BX Royal is on 11 points. We have Alessandro in 11th place with 7 points. Mortal Veloz is in 12th with 5 points. We have Natty G in 13th with 4 points. Ben MK is in 14th with 3 points. Then we have Kep in 15th with 1. Owen is in 16th with 0 points. We have Danaman 17th with 0 points. Fatban in 18th with 0 points. And then Mzine in 19th with also 0 points. I believe the reserve drivers at the bottom of the grid at the moment, or the bottom of the tables. So obviously this week we are at Michelin Road Atlanta. And we've got 2 races again for you, as always, this evening. Oh, we've got Iggy. Iggy's actually in the lobby. So we've got an appearance from Iggy. So we've got some really fast guys on track this evening. This is definitely going to be a very, very close race, or a close evening of racing. I think qualifying is going to be edge of the seat action. Everybody fighting for that top position. Currently in practice we have Ahmed with the fastest lap of 1:17.427. Fatban, can't see his time at the moment. Ben's there in the 1:17s, 1:17.535. And in fact, I think that was the standard, wasn't it, for the esports series, or for round 1 of the esports series. Obviously, I was supposed to be doing the comms for round 2 last night, but we had Ross on comms instead because I was on my way back from the charity skydive. And I just wanted to give a heartfelt thank you to all of the guys who put their hands together and donated towards the cause. Absolutely fantastic cause, Motor Neurons Awareness, and me and the team saw. We managed to raise over 10 grand, which is absolutely incredible stuff. Which will all, obviously, all the proceeds will go to Motor Neurons Awareness. So yeah, massive thank you to everyone for that, who got involved and supported the mission. Absolutely incredible stuff. So Ahmed just gone faster again in practice there. 1:17.030, so almost into the 1:16s. I wonder if we're going to see some of the guys creep into the 1:16s this evening. I think it was 1:16, 1:17 were the... yeah, there wasn't a lot in it. I know I had some of the slower guys in room 2. Obviously they were, well, I say slower guys, there was literally like a second in it between room 1 and room 2. It was, yeah, it was very, very close indeed. So who do we actually have in the lobby this evening? We've got Fatban, we have Capel, we have Viking Dog, Mzine is there, we've got Kep, we have Iggy, Perry, Ahmed, BX Royal, we got Fatban, oh, we've seen Fatban, we got Owen, we got Ben, Zico was there, I saw as well, and McKenna. So maybe missing 1 driver so far, I think, or maybe we've got 14 this evening. We normally have 15 on a Monday. Qualifying will start episode shortly. I'm sure we're going to get a message from BX on the left hand side there if he hasn't put it up already. As I say, I think this is definitely going to be a very, very interesting race. Who's that facing the wrong way at the moment? Let me see if I can find that car. So it was in fact Zico. Zico getting a little bit wrong there through the S's, ended up turning the car around and then decided to reverse off the track. But here we go. So this will be in fact the start of qualifying. We go on board with BX as is tradition. He will take us through his outlap and probably through his first flyer. We'll stay on board. In fact, should we have an onboard? Let's have an onboard, guys. So if any of the guys are actually driving in cockpit this evening, this is what they're dealing with. It's very, very dark out there at the moment. They're going to be having their headlights on full, I would imagine. So Ahmed came out and went into the pits. Is that Ahmed possibly on a quali ban? Or is there the pit? Ah, no, I think maybe we've got a pit glitch, have we? Somebody's still in the pits. No, Ahmed is actually, in fact, out of the pit. So Fat Ban. I think Fat Ban, possibly on a qualifying ban. Who was we on board? He was on board with Royal. So he is now coming up through the final sector now, through the chicane of death. I'm sure we're going to see some very brave moves coming into that chicane. Round the final turn now, and across the finish line to start his first flying lap. Floating it through this first turn here. You don't want to go too... Oh, and he did. He went out too wide on the left-hand side there. Commentator's curse coming into effect. BX is going to try that one again. So is there anybody ahead of Ben at the moment? I think Ben is the next person in the track order, so he will come along to finish his first flying lap before anyone else. So we'll stay on board with Ben for just a second. And Ben... He's in the Lexus, isn't he? He's in the Lexus RCF. This season, very, very good all-round car. I'd put it on par with the M6. They've got some very similar characteristics. It's going to be hard braking down into the chicane of death. It's not actually quite as sketchy as the one around Dragon Trail Seaside, is it? Obviously, the very, very famous chicane of death there with the walls on either side. You've seen many of people go for that cutterwood barrier. So Ben sets a 117.784 to take provisional pole, and in fact, Owen moving just ahead there with a 117.583. So Owen currently provisional pole, Ben there in second. We have Gilles. Oh, Iggy and Viking Dog. So Viking Dog moves up to provisional second with a 117.692. Iggy not far behind him, 117.734. Ben shuffled down to fourth place. Gilles shuffled down to fifth. We've got Capel, currently provisional sixth. Perry, is Perry the first on a 118? Oh, okay, so we have 117s from first down to fifth, and then Capel currently the first person into the 118s, a 118.032, so almost into the 117s there for Capel. Perry 118.175. Zico currently provisional 8th, 118.182. McKenna down in 9th place with a 120.376, so the first into the 120s. Then Kep looking like he's not actually managed to string a decent lap together at the moment. His out lap was a 116.211. But his current timed lap is a 125.839, so I think Kep's definitely got more in the tank there. BX yet to put in a lap. We saw him drift wide, didn't we, on turn one? It's all too easy to get it out of shape into turn one. We want to try and keep as much speed through there as possible, but the car does get a little bit floaty out to the left-hand side there, and obviously you have to run off with the grass. And then barriers await. See if he gets it right this time around. That was a 117.524. His previous lap should push him up to second place actually, so that was a time lap there. And he gets it right that time round. Nicely into the S's here. Oh no, he gets out of shape again into the barrier. BX, get out of your system, dude, before the race starts. Don't want to be doing that during the race. So Zico currently provisional third place. That's a really good time there for Zico. Zico well on 117.671. His previous fastest was a 118.182. So improving massively there. 5 tenths, nearly 6 tenths there. Improvement for Zico. Well done, Zico. Viking Dog shuffled down to fourth now with a 117.692. Iggy shuffled down to fifth. Ben Ben sat in 6th currently. Gilles there in 7th. He's into the 117s now. Kep is into the 117s. Currently sat in provisional 8th place. We have Capel down in 9th place at the moment. Oh no, it's a Kep! Kep manages to go top of the leaderboard with 117.389. I said I thought he had more left in the tank, and he definitely did there, didn't he? 1/10 faster than Owen at the moment. Is anyone going to be able to beat that time? We're only 5 minutes, nearly 6 minutes into qualifying now, so still plenty of time for the lads to get some laps on the board. But at the moment, the grid is currently looking like Kep maybe starting on pole, Owen 2nd, BX 3rd, Zico 4th, Viking 5th, Iggy 6th, Ben 7th, Gilles 8th, Perry 9th, Capel 10th. Oh, in fact, so there's been a few movements there. I think Emzine managing to go up to 10th place. Perry shuffled down to 11th. Capel 12th. McKenna 13th. Fatban will start in last place if he is on the qualifying ban. And Ahmed moves up into pit provisional pole for 117.320. We see him almost getting to the 116s in practice. So what can he do in that M6? I'm sure he's going to be giving it all he's got. Only 600s faster than Kep though at this moment. Kep now into the pits to take on a fresh set of tyres, maybe try and have another go. Owen comes across the line to start a flying lap. BX, is he on one? He's on an out lap. Ben is on a flyer. Comes around this 90-degree right-hander there. Almost a hairpin that one, too. Very sharp right-handers onto the back straight. The approach down to the final chicane. I reckon he's going to be, yeah, he's hanging it out in 5th gear there to try and get the most out of the car. Oh no, and he dips it up into 6th right at the end. All the way down to 2nd for the chicane. Up into 3rd on the exit. He's going to absolutely pin it now through this final couple of turns. And across the finish line. And he does a 117.7, so not actually improving that time around. Viking Dog out of nowhere to the top of the table. Porto says Iggy is washed. I think Iggy's sandbagging, dude. We'll see though, we'll see. You never know. But yeah, currently sat down in 8th place on the grid is Iggy. So yeah, maybe he's still got some left in the tank, not too sure. But Viking Dog in the McLaren 658, oh no it's not, it's the Renault, isn't it? He's in the Renault RS01. He's moved up into pole position with a 117.221. Only 900ths faster than Ahmed. So Ahmed, very, like I say, very, very close indeed in this qualifying session. So Viking Dog on a 117.221. Ahmed, 117.320. Kep on a 117.389. Owen on a 117.407, BX 117.524, Iggy 117.572, moves up to 6th place. Ben 117.644. Is that? Oh, I thought it was the same time as Iggy for a minute. Zico for 117.671, Capel 117.725, 117.839 for Gilles, a 117.969 for Emzine. 117.987 for Perry, and McKenna the first not to have a 117, so from 1st to 12th all in the 117s. McKenna currently on a 119.062. A Fatban isn't going to be able to qualify, and we're into the last 30 seconds now of qualifying. Is this going to be the grid as it stands at the moment? It looks like BX has gone into the pits now, so I don't think he's going to be trying to get any more laps in. I think he's settling for where he is, but is anybody going to be able to get faster than him and shuffle him down the order somewhat? And I think Viking Dog, yeah, he's taking it easy now. He's finished his flying laps. Ahmed! 2 temps up through that split. We got to watch Ahmed now. He's coming through the final sector, through the final chicane. Is he going to be able to take that pole position away from Viking Dog? That was almost very greedy there on the apex there, almost taking a little bit more curve than he might have liked. Could have ended up with a penalty, but he didn't. And he takes provisional pole there, 117.164. moves 500ths ahead of Viking Dog. So Viking Dog now shuffled down to second place. Kep, he's going to settle for third. Owen, fourth. BX will start in fifth. Capel will start in sixth. Iggy. Oh, Iggy's in the R. Oh, that's a very brave choice of car there for Iggy. I used to enjoy it in GT Sport, but they, in my opinion, they ruined it in GT7. A very, very tricky car to drive indeed. And yeah, he's not down there. So Iggy will start in 7th place. Gilles will start in 8th. Oh no, Gilles moves up to 5th. Go on, Gilles. So now the order is Ahmed, Viking Dog, Owen, Kep, Gilles, BX starting in 6th. Capel there in 7th. Iggy. I don't think Iggy's going to improve. He was down. Oh, and Iggy! Iggy does improve up to 5th place. So, you're going to have to go through the order again. We've got Ahmed on pole. We have Viking Dog in 2nd place. Owen is there in 3rd. Kep in 4th. Iggy 5th. Gilles 6th. Zico 7th. BX in 8th. Capel 9th. Perry 10th. Did Perry improve there? Oh, we'll have a look at the order now anyway. So we go on to results. This is your order. This is going to be the grid for the first race. So Ahmed will start on pole. We got Viking Dog in 2nd place, Owen in 3rd, Kep in 4th, Iggy in 5th. We got Gilles in 6th place, Zico in 7th, BX in 8th, Capel 9th, Ben in 10th, Perry 11th, Mzine in 12th place, McKenna will start in 13th, and Fat Band starting at the back of the grid on a qualifying ban in 14th place. What a qualifying that was. Look at that. Look at how close. That's just insane, isn't it? Everybody, almost everybody, into the 117s there. McKenna almost breaking into the 117s at the end. His fastest at the end there was a 118, so not far off the pace. And I think I remember Fatban in the 117s in the esports race, so he's going to be one to watch from the back. This is it now. This is the first race of the evening. The klaxon sounded, they are off. It looked like Viking Dog getting a really good getaway there. I think maybe he may be able to pip that pole position, and he has. He's moved up into first place already. Ahmed dropping down to second. We got a few positions being changed in the background there. Kep losing that position now to Owen. Owen moving up to third place. Kep trying to fight back. Iggy out of nowhere. Iggy in the R8. He's trying to go around the outside now of Kep. Everything's starting to get a little bit sketchy. Oh, there's a lot of cars in the background there, jostling for position. Kep there in fifth place. He's got Zico following him very closely there with BX. And then somebody else, I think it was Perry. Perry getting nudged out wide there, ever so slightly, slight bit of contact. So BX there in seventh, Capel now in eighth, Gilles in ninth, Ben 10th, McKenna 11th. Fatman trying to come through now, he's come from the back in 12th place. Perry 13th, and Mzine dropping down to 14th. Oh, Fatman getting his nose cut off a little bit there. So Viking Dog takes the lead early doors. He's actually got a 6/10 gap at the moment over Ahmed. I don't think he's going to have to worry about tyres too much either in that Renault. The Renault seems to be very, very gentle on its tyres. So Ahmed at the moment is trying to keep on the back of Viking Dog, trying to keep him honest on his gearbox. But he has got Owen behind him to contend with. Owen is actually closer than he is to Viking Dog at the moment. He's going to be picking up that slipstream though, up ahead from Viking Dog as they come now into turn one. This one all too easy to get a little bit wrong. Drift out on the left hand side there. You're onto the grass and gone for days. That would be your race over. It's going to be very, very hard to get back into the race after that one. We're now into the snaky S section now. Downhill as well and then back up the hill. This left-hander here can be one of the hardest corners on the track. All too easy as well to drift out wide there on the right hand side and light them rear tyres up and it sends you around. So Ahmed still trying to put the work in now, trying to get onto the back of Viking Dog once again, and he has closed that gap up. It's 4/10 now. Is he going to be able to stay with him and maybe try and go for a move down into the final chicane? They're on the approach now, they're on the back straight. So at the moment the fight for the front is BMW versus Renault. Is Viking Dog going to have to start taking some defensive lines? Ahmed was close. Not as close as he may have liked. He's not going to get the move done on that occasion. but he is going to continue to chase Viking into lap 3. So the gap now between him and Owen has opened up slightly. Ahmed actually taking the fastest lap there with a 1:17.708. So Owen still sat in third place at the moment, 7 tenths, 8 tenths off the back of Ahmed now. He's got Iggy for company, Iggy in the R8. As I say, that thing, a bit of an animal. Fair play to Iggy, he's a brave man for choosing that car. As I say, I managed to win a season in it in GT Sport back a few years ago, but then when we came on to GT7, in my opinion, they ruined the R8. It was just undrivable for me. Very, very skittish indeed. So yeah, Iggy making it look easy at the moment. And these top 4 have actually got a 2-second lead over the rest of the field at the moment. So we've got Iggy sat in 4th place. We have Zico there in 5th. BX now looking for the move on Zico. Zico's going to come off that inside line. Not allow BX to have a look up the inside into the chicane. And in fact, that was very good defending there from Zico. Zico holding on to that 5th place for dear life. He knows that he's got BX behind him. BX has been a very confident, very fast driver in the previous seasons. He's had a couple of shaky ones, hasn't he, towards the start of the season, but he's always bounced back. Obviously getting to grips with moving from pad onto wheel. Oh, look at how he closed up then through that turn. It looked like he was maybe trying to set up and move up the inside, but it hasn't paid off for him too much. He's now dropped a couple of tenths off the back of Zico, almost out that slipstream range and almost into the clutches of Capel. Capel sat there in 7th place at the moment. Capel in the GTR. Then we have Fatban. Fatban's made his way up to 8th place. He's in the GR Supra. He's now being chased down by Gilles. Gilles only 3 tenths off of him in the BMW. Then we have Perry. Perry also in the Renault. Kep down in 11th place, only 4 tenths off the back of Perry at the moment, so maybe still able to make up a few positions in the sprint race. We're only 5 minutes in. Then we have Ben all the way down in 12th place now. Not sure what happened to Ben. McKenna down in 13th, 2.5, 2.6 seconds. Oh, McKenna almost losing the rear there on the exit of that chicane. He just got it out a little bit onto the grass, and you saw him chucking some grass across the track there as well. Emzine, however, all the way down in 14th now. 1.3 seconds off the back of McKenna. So we go back to the front of the grid and where the race is at the moment with Viking Dog and Ahmed still locked in battle, although the gap has opened ever so slightly. Ahmed still with the fastest lap though on 1:17.531. So he's definitely pushing it, isn't he? And actually closing up on the exit of that last turn, the double right-hander. And he's going to be within that 3 tenths window again as they come down to the chicane. Is he going to be looking for a move this time round? And he closes right up onto the bumper there of Viking Dog. Viking Dog seems to manage to get away though a little bit on the exit of the chicane. Not enough though, he's still firmly under the attention of Ahmed. Ahmed chasing him down through turn 1 once again. We're going to be on the approach now as we crest the hill into the snaky S section, into the S's, and then we go downhill and then back uphill once again. And this left-hander that is very, very sketchy indeed. On the approach now to the double right-hander. Actually, the only corner on the track there, the second of the 2 right-handers, I think anybody goes down to first gear, so a little useless fact there for you. And I'm not sure what happened there, but Viking Dog now manages to get a whole second's worth of a gap. He got a really good exit there out of that last turn. Has been saving some of them tyres for a late dish, a late dash, late push. Looks like he's absolutely flying at the moment. That Renault powered by Pixie Dust, or powered by Viking Dust. I'm not sure what the Viking equivalent of Pixies would be. Perhaps it'd be dwarfs. So Ahmed now dropping to 1.2 seconds behind Viking Dog, but crucially he's got a nice 1.1 second buffer over Owen, who's also in the Lexus RCF, down in third place at the moment. Owen looked very, very fast, didn't he, in practice and in qualifying. Iggy still sat in fourth place. He's managed to make up a few decent positions though, Iggy, so you never know, he might actually be, he's also one that seems to save his tyres until the last couple of laps, and then he'll go on an absolute charge. So we'll have to keep an eye on Iggy. Zico not far off the back of Iggy, only 6 tenths in it. But then there's a big 3-second gap back to BX, who is currently sat in 6th place in the Ferrari. Nicely through the S's there. Capel sat in 8th place at the moment, 7th place at the moment. He was only 7 tenths off the back of BX. BX got a way better exit, didn't he, out of that last turn? Out of that sketchy left-hander at the end of the S's. So Capel dropping to 1.2 seconds behind BX now, but he's got a nice buffer over Fatban. Fatban, who has been on the charge from the start, starting in last place. He's currently up to 8th. Only 1.5 seconds off the back of Capel, but he's also got Gilles to contend with as well. We'll look back now towards Gilles from Fatban's car. He's also got Kep breathing down on him as well, so Gilles actually under the attention of Kep at the moment. So trying to focus ahead towards Fatban, who we're on board with now. But he's also having to fight a bit of a defensive battle. Look, you can see that there. Kep now trying to go around the outside. I'm going to go on board with Gilles at the moment because this looks like a really interesting battle. Gilles having to go fully defensive. Against Kep behind in a Mazda RX Vision. The Angry Wasp, or Angry Hornet, as some people affectionately call it. So we are on lap 9 of 12. And that is correct, actually. We changed it to laps, didn't we, this season, instead of minutes. So Gilles comes off the inside, but Kep going to have a look around the outside now as he comes down to the chicane. Gilles is going to be on the inside for the chicane. There's a little tiny bit of ribbon there. Here's Kep going to get it done around the outside. He's got the inside for the next one, and he does. He sends the move, manages to get it to stick. Gilles is going to have to slot back in behind, is he? He's keeping his nose there. No, he has. He has slotted back in behind now. Lives to fight another day. Is he going to be able to go for a move, though, coming into turn 1? And he does. He goes for it. Kep's going to try and keep it around the outside there. Gilles has got the inside line. And he manages to move ahead. He's retaken that position there. So Kep back down to 10. He's going to have to work a little bit better for that position, isn't he? He managed to get it done once. He's going to be able to get it done again. Gilles is going to be looking to try and extend that gap. Try and give himself a bit of breathing space, though, isn't he? But, yeah, Kep's not letting up. Kep only 5 tenths off the back of Gilles at this point. We have Perry in 11th place, 1 second off the back of Kep. Slowly getting closer. And then we have a big gap there. 6 seconds between Perry and Emzine in 12th place. 4 seconds between Emzine and Ben in 13th, and then McKenna bringing up the rear at the moment in 14th. So Viking Dog managed to take that lead early doors, and he's sat there ever since. He took the lead, didn't he, off the start. So he is now led for 10 laps. This is lap 11, and he's still in the lead. The penultimate lap now. What has Ahmed got left in the tank? He's going to be able to go for a charge now in these dying stages of this sprint race. Nice buffer back to Owen in third. I think Owen will be happy to take home that third, though, won't he, in this in the sprint. And it does look like maybe Ahmed is on a bit of a charge now. He's trying to close that gap up ahead to Viking Dog. What can he do? We've seen the M6 does seem to pull it in. Oh yeah, Iggy dropping down to 8th place again. Thank you, Porto. We must have missed that. We're focusing on the battle at the front. So we'll check in with Iggy in just a second, see if and he's dropped down even further. What is going on with Iggy? Yes, Iggy losing out loads of positions there. Gilles has just managed to get past him. I think this is where the R8 is going to start to become sketchy as it loses grip on them tyres. I'd say it's a bit of an animal. Very brave man for choosing that one. So, Viking Dog has started the final lap. We thought Ahmed may have been able to go for a final push, and Ben takes the fastest lap at the end there, 1:17.335. Is anyone else going to be able to take that final point away? But it's looking like at the moment Viking Dog may have done just enough. He managed to take that lead early doors, and it's looking like he managed to create enough of a gap at the start of the race to be able to keep it from start to finish. Some might say absolutely dominating it, but then he didn't manage to get away from Ahmed, did he? Ahmed keeping him honest all race. Did a cracking job, or he's doing a cracking job. I think it's going to be interesting coming into the endurance, looking at a different tyre wear there, because it looks like Ahmed's tyres are slightly better. So Viking Dog comes home in third place. We have Ahmed in second, Owen third, Zico fourth, BX fifth, Capel sixth, Fatban in 7th place, Gilles is 8th, Iggy 9th, we got Perry in 10th, we have Kep, comes home in 11th, Emzine will finish in 12th, Ben in 13th, and McKenna's going to round up the grid in a 14th place. Well, that was race 1, guys, and what a race that was. Viking Dog taking the lead early doors. Ahmed didn't really have an answer, did he? All he could do was just stick with him. We saw some nice battling going on from, I think it was Gilles and Kep. Was it Gilles and Kep? I think it was Gilles and Kep. Swapping positions there. Cracking stuff. So the second race will begin in a few minutes. I don't know if anybody's going to be going out for practice laps before the feature. It's looking like nobody's changed their tyres yet, so maybe everybody going for the softs in the first stint. And in fact, looking like Ahmed going out to test the mediums. We'll put you guys on board with him whilst the other guys are sat in the pits, maybe getting refreshments or taking a quick wee break. As you do, don't really get a chance to during the race, do you? Unless some of you guys have got a piss bucket mounted to your rig, obviously. We know some of you are very, very serious about your racing or gaming in general. Apparently it's a thing. Battlefield friends told me so. So yeah, a couple of people now looking to test the mediums for the feature, it looks like. Fatman has gone out for a couple of laps. We've got Viking Dog joining him on track. Where is Viking? Viking some way back though. Well, that was a decent finish there, wasn't it, from Fatman to start after a quali ban, to start from the back of the pack and finish where he did. I think he did very well to manage to get through the pack. Obviously you've seen how fast everybody is this evening. What was it, 1st to 13th all on a 117, and then first to, it'd be 1st to 12th, wouldn't it? And then 13th place on a 118, so very, very, very close indeed. I think last season was one of the closest seasons yet, and I think this one is shaping up to possibly beat that, so yeah, Viking Dog with an absolutely cracking start there in that first race. I don't know how he managed to jump Ahmed off the line. I always thought the M6 was quite a good starter, so maybe Ahmed just getting his start ever so slightly wrong, perhaps a little bit too much throttle, or I'm not sure. I think, trying to think back to race starts before. I think when you get the timer, sometimes, isn't it? You can basically just keep your foot on the brake or hold the handbrake, and then once the timer counts down, can't you? You can just like plant the throttle, and it seems to be very planted off the line. But don't take my word for that. Don't want anyone spinning up off the line in the future. So we had a DC from someone, but I think he's back now. I think it was Ben. No, it wasn't Ben. Ben's on track. It must have been Ben MK or Benjamin McKenna. Might have been McKenna. Yeah, I think it was. He's the only one not on track, isn't he? So what can Ahmed do in this second race of the evening? Obviously, he did his utmost to stick with. He definitely gave Viking a run for his money, didn't he? I thought he was going to be close enough to go for a move maybe on a couple of occasions, but it just didn't pay off for him. Obviously, Viking Dog very, very good at defending as well. Then we saw that battle, didn't we, between Gilles and Kep. Absolutely cracking battle there between them two. Swapping positions for definitely a few corners, if not a few laps. And that's what we try to do here. We try and get the best of the action. So if I think I can see a battle going on the track, that's where I try and focus on. Obviously, sometimes it's not too easy to catch all of the moves that are being made. But yeah, hopefully, well, you guys must obviously enjoy watching, because we get quite a few viewers every week, and we have a few people that return to the chat, return to the live stream, which is fantastic. Obviously, it makes my job a lot easier when we do have the interactions. I think Porto's there this evening, so thank you for joining us, Porto. Welcome along as always. So we're going to go on board with Perry. Perry's going to be lining up on pole for this feature race. 30 laps in this one. What can Perry do from pole? We saw his teammate manage to have an absolutely cracking start The klaxon sounded there off, and actually Iggy, looking like Iggy got a very, very good start there. He's putting Perry under pressure already, looking to go around the outside now. But he had to cut back in though, because Perry had the better line, he had the racing line, I think. Iggy trying to take the wider line there through turn one, and it gets a little bit sketchy, doesn't it? With that grass impending on the left-hand side. Now we're coming through the S's. Oh, Perry, oh, what is occurring here? Not sure if there's connection issues going on, but it looked like there was contact between Iggy and Perry, but I don't think it actually was. I think that was like ghost contact. I'm not too sure. Whose car is it? Well, I'm working out who it is. Perry looking a little bit skittish, so maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's a combination of cars. Iggy, I think there's a tiny bit there, maybe. So maybe it's actually the host. I digress. So we have Gilles trying to chase down the front two in third place. Look at the sparks there. What was that? Fat Ban slows down for a 1.5 second penalty. So that's allowed BX through now to fourth place, followed by Owen in fifth, Capel in sixth place. We have Zico in seventh. Ahmed now on the back of Zico, trying to get that move done early doors. Ahmed currently in 8th place. He's ahead at the moment of Viking Dog. Oh no, Ahmed getting the exit a little bit wrong there. Now we have Viking Dog moving ahead up into 8th place. Zico, who was it? No, Kep managing to get ahead as well. So Viking Dog now up to 8th place with Kep there in 9th. We have Ahmed in 10th. Ahmed now under pressure from Emzine. Emzine having a bit of a shocker in that sprint race, but he's trying to stab his authority here in this feature. What is happening to Ahmed? Ahmed definitely falling into the clutches. Emzine now. I think Ahmed not comfortable on them mediums. Takes a lap or two sometimes for them to switch on. Ben there in 12th place, and Fatman finds himself down in 13th. We've lost somebody. Who've we lost? We've lost McKenna. McKenna's gone. Or was he not present? So we're down to 13 drivers. Unlucky for some. Iggy picks up half a second's worth of penalty. He's going to lose that position now to Gilles. Then we go Gilles sails through on the outside there. Not a lot Iggy could do there. He lost all his momentum serving that penalty. Only dropped down to third place, so I think we're still going to see Iggy on a bit of a charge here. I think he's going to try and make the most out of them tyres before they die, because when them tyres get over about halfway into the wear, that car just becomes, yeah, it's not nice, is it? We saw that in the first race. But Perry doing a cracking job at the moment. He's managed to start on, well, he started in first place, didn't he? Due to the top 10 reverse grid. But he's pulled out a second's gap over Gilles. Gilles has started to reel him in ever so slightly, as he's now got the pressure of Iggy and BX. BX coming into the mix now in fourth place. BX is only 3/4 tenths off the back of Iggy. We're on board with Iggy now. We'll look back towards BX. BX still not quite close enough to go for a move. He's going to be setting one up through the next couple of corners, though, I am sure. As is Iggy. Iggy looks for the move. Did he up the inside? I don't think he was ever going to get it done there, but this is going to be where we're going to see it come now, I believe, down into the chicane as they come down the back straight now. Who's going to have the better run? It looks like the R8 in the slipstream of that BMW. Definitely pulling, isn't it? Oh, defending there from Gilles. Yeah, Iggy not quite able to get a move done on that occasion. He's going to get a better exit here, though. Maybe we'll be able to get past through the final turn. No, Gilles with that defending again. He's making that M6 as wide as he possibly can. But here comes Iggy now, trying to challenge for that second place. Braking later into turn one there. And Gilles down to 4. BX has followed him through. Go on, BX and now putting Iggy under some immense pressure, almost pushing him along there. BX looks like he's absolutely on fire in this second race this evening. Let's see what happens to him once his tyres start going off. Iggy trying to put his attack. Oh no, BX with half a second penalty as Gilles has to look up the inside into this double right-hander. He's not going to be able to get it done on this second of the two right-handers. But he doesn't have to. He's just got to wait. Perry is indeed on softs, Craig. He needs to be pulling out more of a gap than he already is. Everybody behind him, it looks like, is on mediums. And Iggy going for a move now around the outside. What's happened to Perry? Perry, come on, son. Perry John, what the? I don't know what just happened there. Oh, Perry with a DC. That's promoted Iggy up into first place. Did you guys see that in the chat? That was absolutely crazy. Like, I don't even know what occurred there. It's like we saw something from the X-Files. Perry getting claimed by the Shadow Realm. That's unlucky, Perry. But Iggy now up into the lead of the race with a 1.3 second lead over Gilles. Boy, says bruh. Bruh, indeed. But let me just find that. Where is it? Where is it? Ah! Jeez, yeah, I don't know what we just witnessed there. However, Iggy promoted into the leader race, and he's actually pulled out a 1.5 second lead over Gilles there in second. Gilles trying to hold off BX now. BX in third place. BX obviously in the Ferrari. Gilles is in the GTR. Iggy in the Audi R8. Then we have Owen in the Lexus, followed by Viking Dog in the Renault. So the top 5, all in different manufacturers. Is that how close they've managed to get the VOP now? Because I remember before there was some, obviously there's some OP cars, weren't there? So maybe they've managed to get the balance of power finally balanced. Although I'm sure there probably is still some OP cars. Excuse me while I just die. So Viking Dog has now taken his attention to Owen. He's closed that gap up to 3 tenths. Will he be able to get that position? I don't think he's going to get it done through this double right-hander, but I think we may see the move come down towards the chicane. He's just got to keep that gap, hasn't he? Just got to keep on the rear bumper of Owen up ahead, and we will surely see that move come. And he's had to cut out to the outside there. Owen covering off the inside. He had to brake later into the corner. That's compromised him for the exit. And Viking Dog unable to find his way through. Perry did rejoin the room, but unfortunately not going to be able to rejoin the track. That is a bit rubbish. Absolutely heartbreaking for Perry as well, bless him. If you're watching Perry, I feel for you, dude. Like, DCs are something that, you know, we never predict. We can never predict them, and it's always heartbreaking when it happens, especially when you're in the lead of the race. He had a nice gap as well, didn't he? Iggy was starting to get onto the back of him, but he did have a nice gap. So Viking Dog has now started dropping. Well, it looked like he was dropping off the back of Owen, maybe trying to close that gap once again to go for a move. Actually going for the move somewhere. I didn't think we'd see it come, but he's got it done on the double right-hander there. Owen just backed off a little bit as well. He's just like, nah, I'm going to sit in his slipstream, maybe go for a move again come the chicane. And look at that in the slipstream. But these guys got a gaggle of cars forming behind them. We have kept there in 6th place. We have Zico in 7th. Capel not far behind in 8th, and Fatban there keeping Capel company in 9th place. Then there's a sizable gap back to Ben, 2 seconds. Then we have Ahmed. What happened to Ahmed? All the way down in 11th now. And Emzine 9 seconds off the back of Ahmed. What happened to Ahmed? I know he started quite far back, didn't he? So maybe getting caught up in shenanigans at the start of the race. Iggy starting to scamper off into the sunset now. He's got a 2.3 second lead over the rest of the field, but we have seen how erratic that car starts to become when them tyres start to go on it, when you start to become feeling a bit second hand. That's when it gets a little bit unmanageable. As I say, he's making it look easy at the moment. Oh, and BX has finally managed to get past Gilles, so BX up to second place, Gilles is down to third. And looks like Viking Dog starting to get ever closer to Gilles. 1.2 seconds off the back of him at the moment. When are we going to see the first pit stop start to come? We're only on lap 8 of 30. How far are these guys going to be able to take the mediums into the race? In fact, let's have a quick check and see what tyres everybody is in fact on. So we have Iggy on mediums, we have BX on mediums, Gilles is on mediums, we have Viking on mediums. Owen on hards. That's an interesting strategy there for Owen. And his tyres, they're looking good at the moment. He's still got pace in that car, so maybe the hards have actually become a legit racing compound. We have Kep on mediums, Zico is on mediums. Oh! What happened there? I'm not sure what we saw happen there. We saw another yellow flag. So Zico sat there in 6th place. We have Capel on mediums. Fatban is on the mediums. He's got half a second penalty. He may drop. If he doesn't drop behind Ben, he's going to drop into the clutches of Ben. We'll just go on board with Ben for a second, see if he manages to get the pass done. Batman covers the inside. Ben has closed right up. Not quite close enough to get the move done. Ahmed now up to 10th place. Oh no, it's BX. BX at the moment, he's all the way down in 11th place now. No, BX. And yeah. Wait, what? Emzine there in 12th. So I want to see how sketchy it's going to start becoming for Iggy. He's doing a fantastic job at the moment, is Iggy. Nice to see her back on track as well. Return of the Time Lord. 3.2 seconds is the gap at the moment. Back to Gilles. The BX actually with a fastest lap at the moment for 1:18.192, but it's not helped him, is it? But at the moment, Iggy commanding the race. 3.3 seconds is now the gap. Back to the other cars as he floats that R8 through the S's. Doing a cracking job at the moment in the R8 is Iggy. Gilles still holding on to second place at the moment in the M6. Viking Dog has closed that gap up to 7 tenths. Obviously Gilles gets promoted up to second place after BX had the moment. I'm not sure if there was... I'm not sure if... well, we didn't see what happened, did we? But BX is all the way down in the back now. We did see he had that moment, didn't he, in practice, so maybe one of them. But Gilles now coming under increasing pressure from Viking Dog in the Renault. So we're looking back now towards the headlights of Viking Dog, chasing down Gilles as he comes down through the windy S section, down the hill and then back up the hill once again. And he actually manages to pull a couple of attempts there through the S's. But then Viking Dog seemingly getting the better exit through that left-hander into the double right-hander now. Almost a hairpin, this one. Viking Dog looking like he's on a bit of a charge now. 2/10 is the gap. He's going to be able to go for a move into the chicane this time round. Maybe not close enough. He's having a look. Yeah, he had a look, but wasn't quite close enough. He knew that as well. He didn't want to send it. Oh, a little bit sketchy there on the exit. Manages to keep the gap. Literally temps in it at the moment. And is Gilles going to be able to stretch that gap once again as we come through the S's, or is Viking Dog going to stay with him this time? He's not letting Gilles get away this time, is he? Definitely piling on the pressure. Let's look at the tyre difference. So, yeah, actually it looks like Viking Dog on slightly better tyres at the moment. Gilles is going to have to start doing some of that defending. He was making that BMW episode wide before, wasn't he? Cracking job he was doing. Stay on board with these two for just a second as they come down to the chicane, because I think we may see Viking Dog, maybe. He's going to go for the move now. He's alongside, he goes up the inside. And yeah, he does, he gets it done with ease. So Gilles is now down to third place. Slowly approaching the halfway mark of this race. We're on lap 14 now of 30. I think we're going to start seeing the guys maybe think about their pit stops in the next couple of laps. So Iggy now with a 4-second lead. Viking Dog up to second place. We have Gilles holding on to third. 3-second buffer back to Zico in fourth. Zico with Kep for company there in fifth place. Kep only 8 tenths at the moment off the back of Zico, but he's also got Capel there, keeping him on his toes. Capel in the GTR. Capel actually looking like he may be trying to set a move up. He's going to have a look up the inside now into this first of these two right-handers. Kep holds it around the outside. But then Capel manages to get it done through the second one. Kep now looking like he's under pressure from Ahmed. I think Ahmed's moved ahead. So Ahmed, no, that wasn't even Ahmed, that was Owen. So Owen moving ahead up into 6th place. Kep is going to be picking up the slipstream off of Capel up ahead. Owen's going to hold the inside line as they come into this chicane. Oh, a little bit wide there on the exit. They're still side by side. Oh, and there was a bit of door rubbing there. Oh no, Owen. Oh, Owen drifts out onto the grass. We've seen the first of the pit stops. Ben is into the pits. Ahmed looking up the... Oh, Ahmed. Ahmed looks up the inside. Tiny bit of contact there, and Owen gets bumped out wide onto the grass once again. He's now 3.8 seconds off the back of Owen. Off the back of Ahmed. Emzine 18 seconds off of Owen at the moment. I thought maybe he'd gone in for an early pit stop, but I think he's just not having a race that he would have desired. Currently in 9th place though, so not to be stiffed at. So Ben re-emerges in 10th place on a fresh set of mediums. We have Fatban also on a fresh set of mediums. And BX has gone for racing hard for this final stint. He's only 8 tenths off the back of Fatban at the moment. Our race leader Iggy is now going to peel into the pits. He's got a 3.8 second lead over Viking Dog. I think Viking Dog is probably going to follow him, and he does. So Gilles will follow as well, as does Zico. Capel's in. kept heels in. So Ahmed stayed out. Ahmed's favoured track position. Ahmed will move up into the lead of the race, albeit momentarily. Is it going to pay off for him going for the overcut? Are we going to see any position swap? I think the guys are actually going to get out before the other guys who have went for the undercut. I think, yeah, they do. So Iggy re-emerges in second place. Viking Dog hot on his heels though. This is going to be the battle here. I know Ahmed's in first place currently, but he is still yet to pit. So I presume he'll be pitting in the next lap or two. So this is the battle here for first place. Viking Dog versus Iggy. Viking Dog managing to close up now. Iggy's put a little bit more fuel in the car than Viking Dog. I'm not sure if that's a tactic from Viking Dog to try and close that gap up. It's worked for the meantime, but is he going to have enough fuel come the end of the race, or will he have to pit once again? The gap now 3 tenths. So what you're witnessing now is Iggy's either overfueled here or Viking Dog's underfueled. So how is this going to stand? Viking Dog looks to try and set a move up coming into the chicane, not quite close enough that occasion. He's going to stick with Iggy for the remainder of this lap and probably come into this next lap, lap 17. So Ahmed is now into the pits. He is emerging from the pits, but no, Iggy's got moved up into the lead and Ahmed is dropped down. He's dropping down now to 6th, 7th, 8th. And that gap between Iggy and Viking Dog is closer than it's ever been. Only 2 tenths in it now. Oh, closes right up through that second braking zone, almost into the back of Iggy there. That actually compromised Viking somewhat on the exit. It allowed Iggy a couple of attempts breathing space as they come onto the back straight. Through the chicane for the 17th time in this race. Iggy with a nice exit there. Viking's not going to be able to look for a move come turn 1 this time round. We'll have a look at the order quickly. So we've got Iggy still in the lead of the race with Viking Dog only 4 tenths off the back of him. The gap back to Gilles is 1.6 seconds at the moment. Gilles coming under increasing pressure now from Zico. I don't think Zico was as close as this before the pit stops, were they? Was he? So yeah, Zico doing really well at the moment to close that gap up. Can he maintain that pressure on Gilles? Maybe force Gilles into a bit of an error. Gilles doing a very good... Oh no, and in fact Zico with the error there. He's picked up half a second's penalty. All that work that he's done has just been undone. He's going to lose that momentum that he once had against Gilles there. And he maybe will come under pressure from Ben behind there in 5th place. Ben just creeping into shot now. So Zico's going to slow down. Ben's going to close that gap up to now 1.4, 1.3, 1.3, 1.2 seconds. Zico's going to have to work really hard now to get onto the back of Gilles because he's now 2 seconds. He was in that slipstream range before, wasn't he? So we've got Zico there in 4th place chasing down Gilles. We have Ben in 5th place chasing down Zico. Capel is holding on to 6th at the moment in the GTR. We have Fat Bam up to 7th place. He's moved up in position. Only 6 tenths between him and Capel at the moment. So let's have a look at a minute. I think Fat Bam was one of the guys that went for the undercut. He may have been the first of the guys to go for the undercut. definitely closing down, chipping away at that gap up ahead to Capel. What was that I spied on the hood there of Fat Man's car? Is he using some kind of black magic? He's doing some voodoo in this race. He's got a pentagram on the hood of his GR Supra. Is that Taylor Swift on the back there as well? There's a fat Taylor Swift. Fat Man rapping the Taylor Swift. Oh, Fat Man! Fat Man almost losing the car there. He managed to keep control of it though. And he is still closing that gap down to Capel up ahead. 5/10 is the gap at the moment. Capel's going to have to start going defensive in the next couple of corners in that GTR. Then we have Kep there in 8th place, 2 seconds off the back of Fat Man. We have BX Royal in 9th. He was down on the back at one point, wasn't he? But started to come back through the pack now on them racing hards. He went for an early pit stop. We have Ahmed there. Ahmed going for the late pit stop. He's actually come out behind BX. Gone for the racing mediums in this final stint. Then we have Owen. Owen all the way down in 11th. And Emzine down in 12th. So Iggy still managing to keep the lead of the race, but Viking Dog putting him under some intense pressure. I think at the moment it's going to be a matter of whose tyres go off first. And it looks like Iggy actually looking after them tyres quite well on that R8, so see what Viking can do. So this is kind of reminiscent of the first battle in the first race between Ahmed and Viking Dog, but it's now Iggy versus Viking Dog. Or Viking Dog versus Ahmed, and then Iggy versus Viking Dog now in this feature race. And you can see the cars all actually still very close together. There's a train going around the circuit map at the moment. We've only got one car who's quite a way off the back. That is, in fact, Emzine. So Viking Dog closed up to about 1/10, but Iggy managing to stay ahead. He's actually managing to stretch his legs a little bit as well. 3/10 is now the gap. Although Viking Dog firmly in that slipstream, he will surely close up once again come the chicane. There we go, start lap 22. Iggy is still in control of the race. 2/10. It's the gap back to Viking. Then we have a 2.3 second gap back to Gilles in third. He was looking like he might have lost that position to Zico, but Zico at that moment, he's closed right back up once again. There was Zico. Zico 6/10 is the gap now between him and Gilles. Gilles tried his utmost to try and cut away at that gap up ahead to Viking Dog. And looks like Viking Dog actually dropping off the back of Iggy somewhat. Is he starting to try and cool his tyres, maybe go for a charge a bit later on? Maybe lull Iggy into false sense of security, try and get him to start working them tyres. Oh, Zico, no, he's done it again. Zico managing to close up, but he picked up a whole second's worth of penalty that time round. So that gap is going to stretch once again up ahead to Gilles, and he is coming under increasing pressure now from Ben. Ben into the 5/10 gap now. What can Ben do? Is Ben going to be able to go for a move? He's going to be firmly picking up the slipstream now of Zico up ahead. He's coming fast, is Ben. He's going to send it all over the rear of Zico. Not at this moment, maybe later. And then we have Fat Bam behind in 6th place. with Capel only 8 tenths off the back of him. And Ben unable to... Well, he was really close, wasn't he? But that gap has stretched now to Zico. So Zico trying to get his head down. Try and forget about them penalties. Hopefully he doesn't pick up too many more, because they are race ruiners. So Ben in 5th. Fat Band down 1.8 seconds off the back of Ben in 6th place. Capel 7 tenths off the back of him in 7th. Still ahead of Kep in 8th. Ahmed now in 9th place. BX Royal though, BX Royal only 5 tenths off the back of him in 10th. On the hard, so BX actually dropping a place. He's dropped from 9th to 10th. Under pressure now from Owen behind. Oh, BX. And it's looking like Owen maybe trying to set up a move in the background there. Actually taking the fastest lap as well for 1:17.842. And he is really putting BX under some pressure now. BX desperately trying to hold on to that 10th place. It's looking at the moment like it might only be a matter of time. But oh, Ahmed up ahead, half a second's worth of penalty. Is that going to allow BX to be able to maybe put Ahmed between him and Owen? Or are they both going to be able to get through? I'm not sure. BX looks now around the outside. Owen's going to try and follow him. I think this is what BX wants to try and do. Try and get ahead. Oh no. No, that's compromised him. Ahmed defending after that. Oh, it's lost. Yeah, now BX compromised down to 11th place. Will he be able to retake that position? Very, very close indeed to Owen at the moment. Oh, and actually into the back of Owen. Ever so slightly. Under no pressure from behind though. MZing 20.6 off the back. So Iggy is still in the lead of the race, but look how close Viking Dog is. Viking Dog is not letting up. He took the win, didn't he, in the first race? He got the win early doors. He managed to take the lead of the race away from Ahmed, who's not managed to find his way through the pack in this second race of the evening. I thought we might have seen a little bit more from Ahmed. And Viking Dog now looking for the move at the inside into the chicane. Closer than he's ever been. Iggy's going to try and hold it around the outside. Iggy actually still ahead. Who's going to be braver on the brakes? And Viking Dog edges ahead ever so slightly, but no, Iggy wins it on the exit there. I think it's going to be a hard fought battle coming into these last 5 laps now. Last 4 laps. Lap 26 now. So it is the last 5. Having to correct myself once again. Viking Dog looking like he was going to take the lead of the race there. Wasn't to be on that occasion. He's going to have to psych himself up for another move. But it's looking like Iggy's having none of that. He's actually stretched that gap now to 6 tenths. Can he break the slipstream? If he can break the toe, he might be able to scamper off and make this one a win. Here we go, this is where Viking Dog seems to start catching up due to the toe there on the approach to the chicane. Actually closing up through the chicane that time round. Maybe getting a little bit sketchy up ahead for Iggy, but he still looks like he's on the better tyres. Definitely looks like the Renault using more of that rubber at the moment than the Audi. I think this is definitely going to continue until the end of the race. The battle for first place here between Viking Dog and Iggy. Iggy doing a cracking job of keeping that place at the moment, but Viking Dog's just impending, isn't he? Oh, what the... What? I have no idea what we just witnessed there. Just forget we saw that. We still have Iggy in the lead. Viking Dog 3 tenths off the back of him. Is Viking Dog going to be close enough this time around to be able to go for a move into the chicane? Maybe not quite this time round. He might have to wait until the next lap, but is he going to have a look? Oh, he does! Late move there. That was a very late move. Iggy's still on the inside though. So neck and neck between these two, and he manages to edge ahead. That was a bit of a send there from Viking, wasn't it? A very late move indeed, but he had to try something. I don't think it's quite paid off for him. He's still within 2 tenths of Iggy. He's going to have to try and set something else up, try and pull another trick out of his sleeves, but looking like Iggy's a tricky customer at the moment. As we are coming into the dying stages of this race, we will have to have a rundown through the grid and see where everyone is, see where the battles are. So we can see this battle here still between Iggy and Viking Dog. The Viking Dog maybe going to go for another attempt at that move into the chicane. Iggy's going to have to hug that inside line, isn't he? Surely. I think he knows now. He knows what Viking's all about. He knows where he's going to try to be going for the move. In fact, curiously, doesn't cover off that inside. So he's left the door open once again, but Viking Dog decides to stick in that slipstream this time round. Iggy maybe getting the better exit. So we're going to come into the penultimate lap now. So we have Iggy in first place, Viking Dog is there in second. Gilles still holding on to third place. Go on, Gilles. It's going to be 2 podiums in 2 weeks running, isn't it? Then we have Ben there in fourth. Zico is in fifth. We have Fatban up to 6th place now. So Fatban doing really well in this second race. We have Capel there in 7th. Kep in 8th. We have Ahmed still in 9th place, unable to close that gap up ahead to Kep. We have Owen in 10th. Emzin in 11th. And BX has had to go for another set of tyres. BX is on a fresh set of softs, so he's dropped now behind Emzin, down into 12th place. Perhaps BX feeling a little bit sorry for Emzin. He wants him to have a bit of action, so he's going to start chasing him now. He will surely get that move done in a matter of corners. On them softs, I would imagine the difference between the fresh softs and the worn mediums. Actually taking the fastest lap away there with a 1:17.497. So well and truly on a charge. We're coming up to the end of lap 29 of 30. Iggy is going to start the final lap of the race in first place. The Viking Dog still chasing it down in second. We're going to have to watch this battle now with bated breath. It's the clash of the Titans. Viking Dog and Iggy, both League 1 champions. Or Tier 1 champions. The gloves are well and truly off now. And it looks like Viking Dog on a late charge now. We've seen him do this before. Waits until the final lap and let's see what he can produce here. Closes right up onto the gearbox there of Iggy. He's really trying to pile the pressure on. Maybe try and pressure Iggy into some kind of a mistake. But Iggy looking very consistent at the moment in the R8. He is surely going to be going for a move now. Come down into the chicane. He's putting along to the inside early doors. And he does manages to get it done. He actually managed to get a move to stick that time round. It looked like Iggy didn't really have an answer there. It was a bit of a sitting duck, so this is going to be it. Viking Dog managed to take the win Second win of the evening. Iggy in second place. Gilles in third. Ben's going to come home in fourth. Go on, Ben. Zico fifth. Managed to make a place at the end there. Capel in sixth. We have Ahmed in seventh. Kept down in eighth. Owen finishes in ninth. We have Fatban. What happened to Fatban? I think his tyres are dead. Oh, he's run out of fuel. Fatban run out of fuel. 10th place. BX manages to get past Emzine. He's still got in there for company. Come on, Emzine. Go on, lad. So BX 11th, Emzine in 12th. Well done for sticking with it, dude. But there you go. That was, oh my God, what a battle there for first place. So Victory Dog makes it 2 out of 2 for the evening. And what a cracking battle that was there at the end there between Iggy and Viking Dog. Clash of the Titans. I think this season's definitely going to be a good one, isn't it, guys? Well, anyway, that was this evening's racing over for the evening. As I say, I'll be back again on Sunday with round 3, I believe it is, of the esports, and we'll be back on next Monday evening, with round 3 of the GT7 Championship. I've been your boy Vex. This has been the Aero League Racing's Tier 1 drivers, and I will see you again next week. Good night.